Hey Fiero fans, just a quick update video on what's going on with painting the deck lid and the wing. And this is something that worked for me, and I thought I'd pass it along to you. If you know how to paint, okay, you'll know every mistake that I made along the way. But if you've never painted anything before, a Fiero is a really easy thing to paint. I guess that's arguable, but it was easy enough for me. Somebody gave me some good advice on how to do it, so I just followed their advice, and it seemed to work out good. Number one, the deck lid and wing that I started with was black. Okay, so I got some sandpaper. I got this pack from AutoZone or Advanced AutoZone, and you start off with the 320 grit sandpaper, and you scuff up what you want to paint. In my case, it was the wing and the deck lid. So scuff that with 320, and then I took this wax and tar remover and wiped it down really good before spraying my primer. And here's the primer that I used. I used this in particular because it was light. It was a very light color. I had tried another primer before, and it bled through. Actually, this one right here is a filler primer, and it bled through the paint. And maybe I didn't put enough coats of paint on, but that bled through. But this one here didn't because of the light color. Now, once I wiped it down with the wax and tar remover, I primed it, and then after I did that, I sanded it down with the 600 grit sandpaper. Okay, after sanding it with the 600 grit sandpaper, I wiped it down again with the wax and tar remover. After that, I put my first coat of paint, and this is the paint I used. It's gloss white, acrylic enamel, 2 times coverage, and that seemed to work really good for me. And so getting pretty good results for not a non-professional, but I'm really looking forward to it. Here's my deck lid. It's kind of shadowy here in the garage tonight, but for what was once a black deck lid, this has turned out pretty good. Now, don't worry about this overspray here. I'm going to take the original lock out of my deck lid so I can use the same key for the doors. So that's going to be replaced anyway. And of course the wing, and I don't want to mess anything up, but this is the first time I'm putting this wing on the deck lid, and that's what it's going to look like when I get it all said and done. So I'm really happy about it, how it turned out. Now, here's if you can get your hands on one of these, here's just a Black & Decker dual action sander, so DA sander, and that's what I use. That's a 320 pad on there, and that's what I use to do the deck lid. I spent enough time hand sanding the wing, so I borrowed that from my son-in-law, and we got that deck lid sanded down pretty fast. So if you've never painted before, just follow those simple tips. And once I did my final coat of paint, then I sanded with the 800 grit sandpaper. And the only thing I have to do now is buff it. So I need to get a buff wheel and some compound, and it should be ready to put on the Fiero. So anyway, there you go. That's what's going on in my Fiero world. I'm at my playground. I've got in contact with another Fiero owner, and he's looking for a part. And I told him I'd go to my local junkyard and see if they had the part. So that's where I'm at today. Nothing for myself. Just someone who helped me out in the past gave me a free part. All they charged me was shipping. And so I want to return the favor and go get them a part. Hope hopefully they have it. But there's 3 or 4 Fieros here, so I'm pretty confident that I'll find one. I love getting these parts and reusing them as much as possible, because it just puts life into another Fiero, and these Fiero parts are not going to waste, and that makes me feel good about the whole junkyard situation. Okay, I'm here at the Fiero graveyard at my local junkyard, and I'm gonna grab this wiper panel out of this old formula. So, Patrick, you're gonna get. I'm turning your Fiero into a formula today. One of these days I'm gonna get a fancy camera that I can strap to my forehead, so I don't have to do things one-handed. Getting tired of it. Ooh, no. I don't believe I'm gonna be turning yours into a formula. Ping. And that's pretty good. Alright, time to say goodbye to the boys. I'm gonna be late for an appointment if I don't leave now. But I don't know. Love coming out here. I could spend hours going through all these cars. Just recently, someone told me that they had a project car that I might be interested in. They've got a MG Midget, and I'm looking at this over here. What in the world? This thing, I mean, this is awesome. Look at this car. Oh my goodness. That is cool. $1975, when I became aware of cars. I was 5 years old. This, oh, look at that floor pan. Rusted out. This is what I wanted. Please. Convertible. Maverickety. You say this is a Fiero channel. What are you doing? I just love cars, man. I just love them. Look at them spoke wheels. Ting! Spitfire, get it? Volare. Ooh. We're talking cool, man. Yeah, cool, man. Love to have that on the road. Father-in-law had one of those. We got a Corvair sighting. Oh, yeah, buddy. That's what I wanted pre-Fiero when I was about 12. Camaro. right. This just makes me so sad. This is a body shop that restores classic cars. These cars over here were painted. Oh my goodness. This is incredible. I mean, I don't know when this happened, but it must have been recently. I was by here last Saturday, and there were beautiful cars. Look at that inside that building. There's cars being redone, and now they're gone. Oh, it just makes me sick. And by the way, that fire was not started by a Fiero.
Hey, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. And I will continue to put out content and one day show you the completed Fiero.